If you've been drowning in your task list and just want some breathing space, this is the episode for you. We are going to tackle our to-do list with some simple and practical ways to reduce your overwhelm and your workload because let's be real, housework never ends. Do you miss having time for Jesus and yourself, but you're drowning in the responsibilities of motherhood? If so, you're in the right place. Hi, I'm Cheryl, wife, girl mom, and Jesus follower. I learned the not-so-secret ways to become the mom my girls needed by prioritizing Jesus back into my mom life and reclaiming my identity in Christ. If you're ready to build faith while washing dishes, rediscover your identity, and love yourself like your babies do, grab your earbuds and lock that bathroom door for a minute alone. It's time for Mom. Before we dive into this week's episode, I want to add one thing to your to-do list. I want you to click the link down below in the show notes that says subscribe to Time for Mom, and that's going to take you to the Time for Mom Substack. And why should you do that? Well, you're going to be able to get a fresh devotion to encourage your heart every week with an audio version so you can read it or listen to it. It's going to give you access to the monthly Time for Mom chat. It's going to give you notifications for when our next workshop comes this fall so you don't miss it because it's very much related to this topic. If last week's part 1 and today's part 2, if they resonate with you, then you need to subscribe, okay? It's going to help your heart. It's going to help by giving you practical tools, and yeah, you just need to subscribe. All right, let's dive in. I've been overwhelmed. I mean, who hasn't? Whether it's my work as a mom, as a wife, as a human, there are times of overwhelm, and it's a really hard thing to break free from. And probably the hardest thing to break free from has been the overwhelm of just housework because they're never ending. And there are so many chores that need done just because, I'm alive. I have kids. I have a husband. Like, without fail, every time my kids wake up, they're hungry. Who knew? Without fail, after they eat, there's dirty dishes. And without fail, after those dishes are dirtied, they need to be cleaned and then they need to be put away. And then my child is covered in sticky stuff because she just wears her food. I don't know why. It's her favorite garment, food. I'm telling you. Anyway, today we are going to give you some practical tools to break down your to-do list and reduce it and reduce your overwhelm. Okay, so please, I want you to pause this, get a notebook or your notes app, and get ready to write. Okay, so we've got homework and I need you to do it because it's going to help. Add one more thing on your to-do list. It's okay. We're going to reduce your to-do list. First thing I want you to do is think about what your priorities are. Pick 4 things. I call these my 4 walls. 4 things, no more, no less. My 4 walls are God, family, health, and home. That's my priorities. Those are the things that I base my life on. And yes, they can be subject to change, but it's not going to be a week to week. It's more like as your life seasons change, like when I become an empty nester, or if something tragic happened, yes, my priorities might shift a little bit, but they're not shifting daily. So I want you to think about it. I want you to pray about it. What are your priorities? This is how you're going to build your tasks for the days, for the weeks, for the months. If you're not sure and you're like, I'm too overwhelmed, borrow mine. Make your priorities God, family, health, and home. And you're going to start to be able to shift that as you rebuild your life. All right. Number 2, adjust your expectations. For heaven's sake, what you do as a single woman, you cannot do as a wife and mother with children. They are different, okay? They just are. I was able to vacuum my house 3 times a week, do my laundry twice a week, have meals ready for my husband, and have literally hours to sit on my butt and watch TV. Not the wisest use of my time, but that's what I did. You can't do that as a mom and still function and your family function in any form of a healthy way. So adjust your expectations. What do you think you can realistically do in a day? Honestly, you might have to cut this down by half at least. My list of additional tasks that I do in above and beyond cooking food, doing dishes, and making sure we all have clothes to wear and clean underwear to put on our tushies is 4 things. That's about max. I might have more, and those are actually more like weekly tasks that I want to accomplish these things this week. And if I get one thing done on that list, it's a win for that day. If I have more time and I get 1, 2, or all 4 things done, those are bonuses. And I'm always happy to get more than one thing done in a day. But if I get one thing done, that's a success. So please adjust your expectation, because if you're expecting yourself to do the same thing as your friend, as the Proverbs 31 woman, as you 10 years ago before you had kids, then you're going to feel guilt and feeling overwhelmed and confused and frustrated and maybe even angry. And those are not healthy. Look at your to-do list. Remember that you only have about 12 hours. You don't have 24, okay? You don't. You might have 12 hours to do stuff, and adjust your expectations. Number 3, what can be delayed? If you are overwhelmed and you're not sure what you can do, okay, look at that and go, okay, these things don't fit in my priorities. Can I delay them? You know what? If you need to not prioritize putting away your kids' laundry, don't. Put it in a laundry basket and mark it clean. Make sure they know it's clean so they can dig through it. Don't put their laundry away. It's okay. If windows can be delayed, then do it. If you can knock down vacuuming to once a week, or if you need to do it once a month, I wouldn't necessarily recommend that. I've seen how gross my floors get. But if that's what you need to do to reduce your overwhelm, you know what? A little dirt never killed anybody as long as they have a tetanus shot. Okay? It's going to be okay. You need to wash your bodies. The floor is optional. So what can be delayed? Really think about that. And if it can be delayed, consider number 4. Are there things that actually need to be taken off of your to-do list? This is a real thing. You know what? You are one person doing things for multiple people. What actually needs to be taken off of that to-do list? Look at number 1, your priority list, and then go back and see what needs to be delayed and what needs to be taken off. If it doesn't fit in your priority list, put a big old X next to it. If it doesn't match your priorities, and like I said, mine are God, family, health, and home, if they don't match that, then I need to consider delaying or removing it. If it fits in sometime down the road, great. But I'm not going to prioritize something that is damaging to me and my family. And yes, the windows can be damaging to you and your family's sanity. So don't clean them if you have to choose between your family and the windows. It's okay. Adjust your expectations. Number 5, last week I asked you if you were trying to do everything yourself. I know this is hard because it's so much easier to just do stuff ourselves instead of delegate it and ask other people to do things for us or to train our kids up in the way they should go. It is so much easier to just do stuff ourselves because it's a fight in those early years. But you know what? It's a fight that's worth it. What can you delegate to your husband and your kids? Now, I realize that your husband probably does a lot. If you're listening to this, you're a mom and your husband is probably working out of the home, and you may even be working in or out of the home in addition to all the other things that you do. So I know he does a lot, and so do you. You're managing a home. You're raising your children. You might be homeschooling. It is tempting to feel guilty for wanting to ask for help. But you know what? You are not sitting on your butt watching hours of TV like stay-at-home wife me was, okay? You're not. You're trying to survive motherhood. So do not feel guilty for looking at your husband and saying, honey, I know you've had a long day at work, but I'm going to stop folding your underwear. You can do it yourself. I'm sorry, but it's what I have to do right now to have time to spend with you and to see you as my husband instead of a task. So it's okay to ask your husband to do things, to ask him to wash out the sink when he's done washing his hands because he's right there, or to ask him to scrub the toilet out if he sees the rings. It's okay to ask your husband for help, and you do not, absolutely do not need to feel guilty for that. And if you do feel guilty about that, you need to stop, but I know it's hard. It's hard to not feel guilty because we're fighting ourselves. So I'm not condemning you if you do feel guilty. It is a process, you need to talk it out with your husband. Let him know that you're feeling guilty, but at the same time, you are overwhelmed and exhausted and you can't do this by yourself. Now, I also mentioned asking your kids for help. And by asking, I mean telling, because let's be real, once your kids get out of the, ooh, mommy's doing something, I want to help her phase, then you have to tell them to do things. It is hard to find things that your kids can do, because we expect them to be able to do less than they're actually capable of. I don't know why, but we do. I know your kids are not like mine. I have been working on my kids' capabilities for years because they are 3 and 6. But I have a 3-year-old. She can put her own laundry in the hamper. She can pick up toys. She can empty out the dishwasher. Maybe not the big heavy glass things that I don't want her to break, but she can do it. She can put the silverware away. I do run the risk of her putting them all back in her mouth, but she can do that. She can scrub the floor. She can do basic cleaning tasks. My 6-year-old can cook her own breakfast. They can both make their own bowls of cereal. Now, there is a supervision required for the 3-year-old because she filled her plate with ketchup last night. So you do need to supervise a little bit, but they can still do things. So don't place your own limitations on your kids. They are way more capable than you realize. Now, something that helped me so much when I was trying to figure out what to ask my kids to do was a suggestion by Chelsea Joe on the Systemize Your Life podcast. Her rule of thumb is to have her kids do things at least 2 years before she thinks they're ready. And she, like me, was surprised that, wow, her kids are actually capable of doing things at least 2 years before she thinks they're ready. Don't underestimate your kids' capabilities. You might be handicapping your kids, in all honesty. So your kids are capable of helping you with tasks. They might not be able to help you prepare a gourmet meal, but you know what? My little one can still mix the flour. There is going to be some on the table, but you know what? I'm going to have to wipe it down anyway. Ask your kids to help. It's okay. Ask your husband to help. It's okay. Yes, you won't have things done exactly how you want them to, but take a deep breath, because capability and doing things well will come with time. But until then, the kids can just shove their laundry in their drawers. That's okay. You don't have to fold it. In fact, fold it once, then go through their drawers in a few months and pull out all the things that are still folded because they're not wearing them, and they won't wear them. So, there's a little extra hack for you. We have spent a lot of time on number 5. I'm going to move on to number 6, which is pray over your to-dos. Ask God for wisdom and how to spend your time, because there is so little in the house that is actually urgent. Most things can really wait, including your starving kids, contrary to their popular belief. Do your priorities first, because if you don't, you won't. If I don't spend time with God right off the bat in the morning, it is a fight of myself to spend time with God. If I don't look at my husband and say, hi, honey, how are you? Is there anything we need to talk about today right off the bat in the morning? It's very hard to remember to do that as I dive into the tasks of the day. If I don't do something for my health right off the bat in the morning, I get caught up in tasks and I forget. So do your priorities first. Home is my last priority, and it takes up the biggest part of my day. And number 7 is just something for you to remember. You don't have to do everything all the time. It's okay to be a human. It's okay to need breaks and even need a little time for yourself. There is no reason to feel guilt or shame for not being able to do everything that you thought you could, that your mother or grandma did, that the woman in Proverbs did, that your friend can do who has teenagers, to your wealthy friend who has a nanny can do. Don't compare yourself to other moms in fiction or real life, and I count social media as fiction. You can do what you can do. And you're going to have to find your limits, acknowledge them, and then move on with life. What we can do changes season to season, week to week, year to year, month to month, based on so many things. Our spiritual health, our mental health, our physical health. the mental capacity that we have, and it changes so much based on our environment and what's going on in our lives. You don't have to do it all, and the house will not burn down. It's going to be okay. You are important. Your health is important. Take a deep breath. You can do this. You can look at what you are wanting to do and compare it to what you can do, and compare that to your priorities, and build your life based on that, not on the expectations of the world. All right, here's your quick recap, and remember, you can find this in the show notes. What are your priorities? Pick 4 things, no more, no less, and you are free to borrow mine, which my 4 walls of priority are God, family, health, and home. Number 2, adjust your expectations. Look at what you can realistically do in a day. Make sure you build in sleep, okay? Number 3, what can be delayed? What task can be delayed? And if it can be delayed, consider moving it into number 4, which is what can be taken off the list forever or for a season. Number 5, what can you delegate to your husband and your kids? Ask your kids to do stuff. Number 6, pray over your to-dos. Ask God for wisdom on how to spend your time. And number 7, remember that you do not have to do everything all the time. All right, mamas, until next week, I pray that this 2-part series was able to give you permission to stop worshiping your to-do list and to start prioritizing the things that hold eternal value. It's more than the dishes, okay? It's going to be... Don't worship the dishes. All right. Until next week, I hope that this encouraged you and gave you some tools that you can use to reduce your overwhelm. And if it did, please hop over to Substack, leave a comment, get in the chat. There is a link for the chat in the show notes, and let me know. I'd love to hear what you have to say. All righty. Love, Cheryl. Hey, beautiful. I hope you enjoyed today's episode. If so, would you take 30 seconds to share this with a mom who's wading through those mounds of laundry and dishes and wishing for just a little me time? Also, please leave a quick review for the show on Apple Podcasts. It makes my day to know this podcast has helped you. Well, it's time for me to wash more dishes and cook more food. I'll meet you next Wednesday for another episode. Until then, may the God of grace fill you with his peace.